Hey everyone, welcome back to this Let's Play of Monster Hunter World, and as usual, I'm Mibble Bibble. And today, we're gonna hunt a Pukei-Pukei, which is a weird chameleon flying thing.
Hey partner!
With a big, long tongue, and it pukes everywhere, like the name suggests. It's poisonous. It's not great. Actually, it's alright. It's not too bad to fight. But yeah, today we're gonna be using the Kuliyaku horn, which has a different set of skills compared to the iron horn that we've been using for a while. Just gonna grab attack up because whatever, I like to hit harder. It's annoying that there's no HP buff and we're not gonna get one for a while, but that's life. Yeah, we're not gonna be able to get consistent HP buff stuff until either we unlock the farm, which lets us duplicate a lot of things, like the ingredients to make max potions, or I decide to go on a big expedition, which I really cannot be arsed to do right now.
Oh yeah.
It's a good thing that I know where it usually spawns, so we can just go straight there. But might as well just grab some tracks first. We're gonna want some research levels, after all. And there you can see the big list of songs that the Kulu horn has. And right now I'm just doing Scoutfly power up, just so you can track it a lot easier. I think... oh yeah, the drums sound different now, which is pretty cool. I think most horns have their own unique sound. Probably. To be honest, I haven't made many different horns. But yeah, there's a different set of songs for this horn. There's defense up. There's, as usual, the self-improvement, which every horn has. Oh, shit. It's an Anjanath. We're gonna really try and avoid it, but I think he noticed us. But that's okay, because that means he's gonna come to where the Pukei is, and will help us beat the shit out of it for us. But yeah, there's wind pressure negated, which the other horn also had, and it's actually kind of useful for Pukei because he's got a couple of skills that blows you backwards. And there's the classic Pukei tail swipe. He does two of those in a row, and you'll notice that I keep getting hit by a second one consistently, and well, shit, the Anjanath has noticed this. It's okay, just stay out of the way. Yeah, wind pressure negated will be a useful song because Pukei does have a couple of skills that blows us backwards. Stamina use reduced is good because it means we can run for longer, and I really should not be in the middle of this. Tool use reduction, not useful for us at the moment, but will be useful once we actually get a special tool. And the Pukei's flown off, so we're running off too, because I am not going to fight around an Anjanath. We are not ready for that shit. Not quite yet, at the very least. On the bright side, it doesn't really chase us, so... Great Jagger's here. Not going to do too much, to be honest. Annoyingly, that Encore didn't hit, but hey, we got a defense up large at least. Yeah, sometimes it charges. There's not much of a tell for the charge, to be honest. So just don't really want to stay in front of it. It's kind of got two different types of charges. If you saw that we flinched just there, that was because of wind pressure. Because I haven't done the stupid song yet. And you can actually start with whichever song in the that you've queued up. So the order doesn't really matter. Oh, and that's the first instance of Pukei's Poison Puke, which can be really annoying because your antidotes don't give you immunity, so you could pop one, drink it, and then just get poisoned again. Somehow I did not get hit by the second one. Yeah, its tells aren't too bad. You can usually tell when it's about to puke everywhere when it's got its tongue out. And I believe this is the first monster with a roar that can actually, like, stop you. So you're gonna... maybe not for this one, because it doesn't matter too much. You might want some earplug decoration, or, like, the skill. There are some horns that can give you earplugs, and yeah, you're just gonna need small earplugs for this guy because he's not a big monster like Anjanath. Also, he turned red earlier, and that means he's enraged. That usually means they're a bit more aggressive, and they might hit more. But funnily enough, being enraged can sometimes mean that they're more predictable. So, like, in this guy's case, I think he charges a lot more compared to when he's not enraged. And just gonna take a quick detour just so we can find the third camp in Ancient Forest, or at least the site where it will be, and then we can just quickly unlock it.
I think we could build the camp here. Let's ask the head honchos.
Hello there, Great Chris. Don't really care about you. But yeah, see, he's enraged, so he finds it a lot quicker. You can also see that his, like, throat pouch is really big. That means he's eaten some scatter nuts, and I think it means he pukes a bit more. Also, yeah, his little air charge can change direction, so you want to watch out for that. His enrage has stopped at least now. If you actually hit him enough whilst he's in the air, you will knock him down. Not sure if I managed to do it this video. Nope. He lands by himself. We're starting to build up a few good hits on his head though, so I think he gets knocked out pretty soon. And yeah, I get screwed over by the double spin again, but I think after this I learned my lesson. Yeah, he's got a little lunging charge. I think, like, the more you damage him, the easier it is to notice because the slower his tail becomes. Like, honestly, I can't explain half the time when I dodge out of the way. It is very much a reactive thing. And it just comes from practice. In my defense, I haven't fought this guy in ages, so... Yeah, we managed to beat the shit out of him so far. I think we might have broken a wing by then. Yeah, I really should have noticed that spin earlier because he does do that little brace for it, where he starts to spin and he moves in opposite direction and then he spins around. So yeah, I really should have noticed that. Stupid air charge. It does last a bit longer than I thought it was going to. Also, if you get interrupted whilst doing an encore, you're gonna have to put the notes out again, which is kind of annoying. Oh, hey, he's angry again. And I think he does try to eat scatter nuts, which are like a kind of pod ammo. And at this point, I must have mistakenly remembered that you could, like, knock him down whilst he's eating scatter nuts, because it turns out you can't. I'm just gonna try to beat the shit out of him though. And at this point, I start getting a bit worried. That was a bit of a waste of a Mega Potion, but whatever. And And yeah, I see the Anjanath in the background. I know there's gonna be trouble soon. Oh, yep, there we go. We've managed to knock him out of the air. I think usually if you hit the legs of the monster when it's flying around, so there's other flying monsters as well, and generally if you hit their legs whilst they're up and trying to fly, you will usually knock them down pretty well. And hey, there's a few Jagras' collateral damage. Might hit this guy a few more times just to stop him from limping away. And at this point, I feel like it's better to just get as many Encores out as I can. And, oh shit, it's the Anjanath. Yeah. I'm just gonna really quickly sharpen. I'll let them fight each other for a little bit. Well, at least hopefully they do. And failing that, I'm just gonna run the hell out. Because I believe Pukei-Pukei just flies away now. Yeah. I do try and mount the Pukei up, but hilariously I managed to mount the Anjanath by mistake. And I'm just like, sod that, I am running off. I'm not sticking around for that. It is above my pay grade, and I do not have the requisite skill to take 40 minutes to kill him with my current weapons, because it's going to take that long with my current weapons. At the very least, Anjanath is pretty predictable, because I have fought him so many times. I know more or less all his moves, so whatever. It's not a biggie. And at this point, I thought that Pukei-Pukei was going this way, but it turns out he's not. But we need to get out of range of the Anjanath anyway to take the Winged Drake over to another camp. So I might as well take a bit of time to explore. Yeah, whilst I am getting close on the map, he's not on the same level as me, so not going to be able to find it. And I think I was trying to extend my scout fly level just so I could track it better, but it doesn't make it a high enough scout fly level that it will show me where he is. And it's at this point I'm just running around, looking around the map. I don't come into this part of the map very often, so like the rest of the ancient forts, it's pretty easy to get lost in. Considering the fact that I fought this guy enough, I should have just known that he's just going to fly to his nest in the northeast, because that's where he always goes. It's a good thing I unlocked that northeast camp. Nope, wrong way. So yeah, usually if you do give him the chance to fly off to rest, he will come over here, and that's where you'll usually find him. Well, let's just beat the shit out of him. Well, there he goes. So yeah, not too hard, but he's definitely a bit more of a challenge than Kulu. Whilst he doesn't have like armored parts like the Kulu rock, you have to deal with the poison. You might have to deal with the occasional roar. I believe this is the first instance of a roaring monster in the game. Whilst he does have relatively obvious tells, you might forget, like I have, and still get hit by them a lot. because he does spam those things. And he's got a bit of an unpredictable move in the flying charge, because that can move to target you midway. But yeah, overall, Pukei-Pukei is not too bad to fight. It's pretty cute as well. I actually quite like his design. It's got a really cool blend of like weird moth bat wings and a chameleon head and a frog tongue and a really weird tail that swells up. I think his design's actually really good. And yeah, I used up a voucher on this guy, so I get a shit ton of rewards out of him. And 13 minutes? I think that's much better than the first time I fought him, so... whatever.
You've done well. And listen up.
We finally get to go to Wildspire Waste, which is the
All right,
next
it's time to
zone.
begin the Elder Dragon investigation. Make sure you know what you need to do.
So now we need to protect the scholars. Let's regroup at the Wildspire Waste.
Yeah, that's the next zone of the game, and it's got one of my favorite battle musics of the zone. So we'll get to see in the next video. Not this one though. I just do a bit more farming in this of the Pukei. Let's just check out the various things. What do you have to say, Scholar? So just a bit of Elder Dragon lore here, why we're following them to the new world. Just gonna check really quickly for any new assignments. Nope. So let's just go straight to the workshop to see what's new. I wonder if we'll meet that guy. But yeah, let's check out some upgrades. There is a Pukei horn, and I probably will make it. Its stats aren't actually bad, and it's also our first weapon with a status attached. It's a poison horn. So the way statuses work in this game is that monsters have a certain threshold, so they've got like their own little HP bar for each status, and as you hit them with a status weapon like a poison weapon, you'll build up poison damage or whatever damage, and eventually you will hit the you'll hit threshold. So yeah, where was I? I got interrupted for a bit there. Yeah, we also got the option to make the Vespoid horn, which mostly involves beating up those small insects that we saw earlier. Its songs aren't too bad either. Oh yeah, I was explaining poison threshold. So once you hit enough poison damage, once you pass the threshold, the monster will become poisoned, or it'll become paralyzed, or whatever status you're using. And this is the Pukei gear. Its skills aren't too bad. Botanist is a bit useless, to be honest, in combat. Everything else has a okay combat use. Sport buff experts just like an extra small heal. Poison resistance and poison attack are pretty self-explanatory. Item prolonger, not very useful at the moment because we don't have any tools, but whatever. And as usual, the Palico gear is very cute. Just gonna upgrade our Kulu gear here, just because I like the look. And actually, Stamina Surge is a pretty useful skill. We're annoyingly one armor sphere short of being able to fully upgrade it, but whatever. Yeah, at this point... Oh, there's just been inventory management, but I'm gonna go farm a little bit more. And... gonna try and make the full Pukei set. And actually, after this, I fight the Pukei once, and I managed to grab an investigation off of it. That is a capture investigation. And I feel like this is a good time to both show off capturing and also a different weapon, which you will see soon. And there's just a bit of inventory management. No biggie. And back to the resource center because I actually forgot to unlock the camp that we discovered last time.
Hello.
Blah blah blah. I've already picked up the investigation, so it is just doing that. We'll get that moss swine hide eventually, but for now, let's just get a new camp. There's definitely a moss swine somewhere in Ancient Forest. I just don't remember exactly where. Blah blah blah. Yeah, I fought Pukei again, and we managed to get another research level. I just checked the field guide a bit just to see what the Pukei is weak to. And it looks like thunder, sleep, and paralysis. And then I check again because I didn't look at the status properly. But it's all a moot point because right now all we have are elementalist weapons or poison weapons, which are not going to help against the Pukei. But we've got enough Kulu parts that I can make a pretty decent upgrade to one of the cooler weapon types, and one of my favorite, which is dual blades. So yeah, these let you bring out your full inner Naruto and just slice and dice everything up. Just upgrade them up to Kulu level, and yeah, we can't do any other upgrades, so whatever. Dual blades are usually not a weapon that you go elementalist with. Like, I'm only doing this out of necessity. Usually you want an element or a status attached to them because that's how you get your best DPS. And like, at the time that I started LP, I actually hadn't played dual blades much, but since then I played a decent amount of dual blades on my main, and I found it to be really fun. Like, I feel like it's my second favorite melee weapon after Sword and Shield. So as you can probably tell, I like the fast and nimble weapons rather than the really slow ones like Greatsword. I'll definitely show off Greatsword eventually. I'm just gonna be really shit at it. I am not gonna lie, I'm not gonna sugarcoat it. I am really bad at Greatsword. Yeah, this is a capture investigation, which means we really don't want to kill the target, otherwise we are going to fail. I've managed to fail capture investigations a couple of times just because I'm fighting a relatively low level monster and I didn't notice the tells for it, that it was already going to die. So accidentally killed it and I was like, oh shit, and then a big quest failed comes up. So yeah,
The supplies you...
blah blah blah. We've only got 30 minutes, but it's not gonna take us all 30 minutes to fight this Pukei. And as usual, grab.
The goal of this quest is to capture the monster. You'll fail the quest if you slay it, so be careful. The supplies you need to capture a monster are on site. Make absolutely sure you have tranq bombs. That one's a must.
Yeah, I'm gonna say that when it comes to capture quests, you always want to check the box for your free trap and tranq bombs, because A, they're a pain in the ass to make, and as you saw just now, sometimes footprints have a small monster part. It's pretty cool. But yeah, the free ones are good because usually you have a limit of 1 shock trap and 1 pitfall trap. The free shock trap that you get doesn't count towards the limit, so you can actually have 2 traps on you. You can still only have 1 down. You can still only have 1 down at a time, but it's very useful to have because it's free.
You're gonna have a hard time capturing a monster while it's worked up.
But yeah, this is dual blades.
Learn that first.
You have cool like ninja dash every time you dash in demon mode, which is your main DPS mode. And as you do attacks in demon mode, you fill up that sword bar thing. And once you get a red outline around that, when you leave demon mode because you're running low on energy, you go into archdemon mode, which lets you do like mini versions of the demon mode skills. And I'm just trying to get my groove back. But yeah, as you can see, I haven't unlocked archdemon mode just yet because I haven't filled up the bar, and now I have. But yeah, demon mode has some really fast-hitting and mobile attacks, but you're constantly draining energy, even if you're incapacitated. So like if you're stunned by a roar or you're just plain stunned, your energy's going to drain, and when you come out, you might not have enough to dodge out of the way, which is a constant issue when it comes to dual blades. Dual blades also has blade dance, which is done using triangle and circle whilst in demon mode, and that is it's like a move where you do a ton of attacks but you're kind of locked in spot. So it's very much good planning, good timing, thinking in advance sort of deal. When you fill up with archdemon mode, if you do that, you get a smaller version of the blade dance that's shorter, so it might actually be better depending on your timing. But it does use up your gauge. And as you can see, dual blades use slicing damage. And if you hit the tail enough of most monsters with slicing damage, you can chop it off and get extra carve. And we do want a few Pukei-Pukei tails for making the armor, so chopping off the tail is actually really good because we're much more likely to get a tail carve out of that. But yeah, as you can see just now, our dodges when we're in demon mode aren't really dodges, they're like little hops, like little ninja hops. And that's actually really useful because it keeps you super active and it lets you stay close to the monster without getting smashed. It's a very aggressive dodge, which frankly feels great. But yeah, we get a little extra carve for chopping off the tail. You can't chop off the tail when it's already dead, so like you have to break the tail whilst it's alive. So yeah, if you're using like bow guns or bows or hammers, or hunting horns, as we usually do, you're not going to be cutting the tail off. I mean, like, yeah, hunting horn does have that stab, which is a slicing damage, but trust me when I say that it's going to be extremely hard to chop off a tail with that. And if you want to farm tails, just get a slicing weapon, seriously. I will say that dual blades, the ones that do have unique appearances, do tend to be the best looking, some of the best looking weapons in the game. Like, I've got dual blades on my main of a monster that we haven't seen yet, and they're just like badass looking claws. I'm really bad at dodging the poison this time around. There was a poison mist attack that we didn't see the first time around, which I don't really know to tell for it. I just tend to stay away from it, so can't help you guys there. But yeah, there's one pretty cool demon mode move that not just yet, but you'll get to see it soon. I think you have to do it while it's a demon, and you just like jump in the air and spin along the length of the monster. It looks super cool when it's a really long monster. So yeah, just stay out of the poison mist. I think if you stay in there, I'm not sure if you get poisoned by it, but you probably you definitely get damaged by it. And I managed to get a second jump spin off, and I think I break a wing at that point, which is always good. Generally, if you break wings of monsters, it takes them a while to jump up in the air before flight. So yeah. Oh, if you see that little red thing down by its foot, that's a special slinger ammo. And monsters actually drop that at about 30% health. So they drop one at 30%, they drop one at 20%, they drop one at 10%. And that's actually very useful because the capture threshold of a monster's health is 30%. So once you see that first one, they only start limping and have the skull on their icon in the minimap, which is the much more definite way of telling that it's injured enough to capture. they only show that at 25%, so you can actually save time if you see the first red ammo drop by capturing it once you see that, rather than waiting to see it limp and have the skull icon. But I'm not going to do that just yet because it's flown off, obviously, and sometimes it is quite hard to judge properly. So sometimes you don't want to risk it. Also annoyingly, sometimes if you're still fighting it, it's not going to show the limping or the skull icon whilst you're fighting it. So at that point, you are going to have to rely on the special ammo drops.
Okay, got your target on the ropes. Now put down a trap and capture.
Yeah,
Keep hitting them with train bombs until the effect keeps.
the handler only says that for this tutorial. This first capture fight, like, she's not gonna...
From a captured monster. However, you will receive more rewards than usual once the quest is over.
Yeah, she doesn't chip in at any point during any other capture quests, so you're gonna have to use the either the limping method or the special ammo drop method to tell when the monster is capturable. Usually you could just wait until it goes to its lair to like sleep off the damage, and you can pop the trap down and then capture it that way. That's a very consistent way of doing it. It just wastes time, and it depends how much you like your speedruns. Because it's consistent. The monster will always be limping if it has to go back to its lair. So you can guarantee at the very least that you can always capture
To
those.
protect the scholars. Let's regroup at the Wildspire Waste.
Yeah, we'll get around to that. But yeah, I'm just gonna buy a ton of Pukei-Pukei gear. We're not gonna be able to afford everything. I'm like missing one bit. So just a little bit more of off-screen farming, and then we'll be ready for the next episode. Because fuck it, at this point it's easy enough to get full sets. It's gonna be much harder later on. And I'm not sure if I'm going to keep my policy of farming up a new set every single time. Especially because we're still in what's known as low rank, and to be honest, our armor does not matter that much. Unlike high rank, which we will get to much later in the series. Not going to equip just yet because I don't have enough for all the pieces. And I'm a fashionista. I like to have full sets, personally. Blah 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 blah. So yeah, you see there? Missing one Pukei-Pukei shell, which is gonna be really annoying. But that's fine. I'm definitely gonna get that drop from the next one I fight. But yeah, thanks everyone for watching another episode of this Let's Play, and I will see you guys next time in the Wildspire Waste. Ciao!